Jane Bond art.
Так, okay, so now I have sound. Yeah, so here I find interesting picture to break down perspective with. So I forget to look who is the artist of this picture, but yeah, later I will look and I will write in a video description. So also kind of, you know, I say in my video how to improve in art. Like I recommend everybody to watch this video, like kind of first video you need to watch. Hello Chris. So I recommend to look for final work you want to do, right? So when you just begin and you think like, oh, I have like bad basics, I don't know perspective, I don't know anything, how should I start? Anyway, from very beginning you should start also looking to final work you want to make. So at first you kind of look like a real artists who do this work, and when you collect these pictures, right, you better, no, like you should, it's like it's absolutely necessary to learn actual names, like real artists who stand behind works. Okay, so, and right now it's very easy to do. You just kind of like put it in a Google image search. Okay, so it's like if you use Firefox, you can even like click right button and say Google image search, or just find website, and it will show you like who is the author. So here is kind of crazy cool picture. Let's check it out. So it's like we have, it's kind of like 3-point perspective, like upside down 3-point perspective, but also it have fisheye. And interesting here is like, it's also a great example how actually like very fascinating picture, like it's look like very impactful, kind of like looks have amazing effect, but perspective here, technically speaking, it's all broken. Right, so it's like if you're like a student, like beginner, whatever, and you think you learn perspective, so you will always follow all rules, and this kind of what everybody must do, then it's kind of like beginner mistake. Because like every time again and again we see how artists, let's write here, how artists making mistakes and some very like basic errors. So let's see what kind of grid we have here. Так. So it's like our horizon line. Then we have y-axis go like this. So in a 3-point perspective, right, we will have a linear x and z. So like x go like this, and z might go like in a 2-point, or here it's like, yeah, it's also actually, it's kind of maybe like the z vanishing point, let's say here. Right. But not so easy, not so simple with this picture. Because, for example, like we have this car. Let's put this like box structure. And you see how x-axis of this car being like curvilinear. So it's like almost kind of, yeah, like have vanishing point here. Okay. So for this car, it's like 5-point perspective. So let's see. Так, hello blue glow. You download all my lives. Так. So let's draw like 5-point perspective grid here. So, and this also what I say, like when you study theory, is some kind of like pure ideal theory, right? From books. It's like um like again, it's like maybe like in the martial arts, right? Like if you go to gym, like they always showing this like very uh standard ideal like system, like how you should to move and stuff, like always cover and stuff. But when you see like fighters fighting, they kind of like fighting like this, like like what they're doing is like it doesn't look like perfect ideal stance and stuff. They're just jumping around like clowning. So yeah, because they're can break rules and get away with this, right? So same like you when you look other artists' work, right? You should to be aware that they may make um, essential kind of mismatch. So don't take it as a same like it is not the same as a study book. So it's might confuse you a lot. And in this case, when you confuse, let's say this kind of Z, and you want what you want to do when you learn from other artist perspective, it's take what you understand. Okay, so if you see it's look like a 3-point, okay, draw it in a 3-point perspective grid, even if some parts will not match with the original picture. Так. So like here, so and I say, okay, if I make it like 5-point perspective grid, then I will make everything curvilinear. Так. So let's say. Так. Okay. Let's make white color. So for example, I take it and make it all in 5-point grid. So this car here. Так. So, and also kind of, if you start to look for kind of like foreshortening of this car, it will be not perfect in perspective. So again, like, some artist might, so you might do it as mistake. Так, wait a second. So you can do it as mistake, like this car on below, or you can do it just as say like kind of like control mistake. Let's say like, if I make it right, it will look not good for my composition. So I make it wrong technically, but it will look exactly as I want it to be in the composition. Так, so let's say, let's draw it as a cyberpunk. So, and also this kind of like learning, or yeah, kind of like a study in other artist works. It's similar to drawing from observation, drawing from real world, in the same way that you cannot translate it exactly, It's like it's impossible to draw what you see in the real world, like 100% accurate, because it just can't be accurate 100%. Is not convertible. So when you actually, it's like if we take like two absolutely different cultures with a different language, right? A different language will be not just like same concept, but sound differently, right? No, they have like absolutely different concept. It's not like a dog on a two different language. No, it's like people like have absolutely different idea. They're so different, so you cannot explain it to people in other culture. Right, so in order to explain, you just find some kind of similar image, so people in other culture can say like, okay, it's something like we have, right? But no, it's still different. And you need to like study like couple years to understand what difference is. But certain different things, they're really different. You cannot find analogy. So, and this is kind of like work of interpreter, right? So it's like different from idea of like translator. So you're not really converting it directly, because it's impossible. Instead you're looking for something which will give you like very close understanding of what is mean, what kind of idea behind it. So same like when you draw from real life, all you can draw, it's how you understand what you see. And how you understand what you see depends on what you know, right? It depends on your kind of like erudition, like of how much you learn. So if you know many perspective grids, if you know perspective on a deep level, then you will see it according to your knowledge. Kind of like you will project in your knowledge on what you looking, right? Так. Okay, so let's say, so this X, this Z, this R, Y. Так. So it's like paradigm shift, very important. And I think it's like in our learning progress, like when we learn to draw and when we have like really like this, you know, like next level transitions, this transition, when transition like this happen, you have such paradigm shifts. So actual like quality change in your understanding of drawing process always have paradigm shift. So you should looking for this too. Is that you like your idea of drawing after like years of experience is absolutely different from idea of drawing you had when you was like in your first years. Так. So that's why I say this exercise like in my videos, like first and second video, perspective for beginners. First you need to like memorize these perspective types, like what do you call it? Get sword. You know, you kind of like a alphabet, you know. Так. So let's see. So have mountains kind of there. Okay, and like in my video I was talking about drawing roads. It's like imagine like when you draw road in perspective, it's like you're drawing a ribbon. So let's see. Right, so ribbon also have this X. It have Y axis. This Y axis for a road is like you don't see it. Sometimes you don't see it, but you see when it's like a freeway or bridge, right? So we can see then this as a kind of thickness of this road surface. Okay, so this will be this kind of Y axis. So we have kind of like if a perspective grid for a space is this solid structure, then we take it as a box, right? So box, it's also perspective grid. Like I say, it's like y, x, and z, right? X, z, and y. And when you rotate box, you kind of also establish perspective grid. You create this like properties of perspective grid, y, x, z. And the road is like this. Also, like you can see it as perspective grid, because it's like if you take box, you squeeze it, stretch it, and bend. Okay, because it's like you see a box, you take it, for example, like you stretch, and then you start to like bend this box. So what happened is like this structure of this XYZ also start to bend. Okay, so you have this Y, X, and Z like a surface, right? So Z here like go like this, X also change direction, you see. And the Y, also Y change direction. So like here, so why you need to know this? Because let's say it's like objects, which is the cars, right? Like a car moving on a surface. So of course it will like depend on this XYZ of a road surface, right? You see? So this Z, this X, and Y, right? So it's following curvature of road XYZ. Also, as this Y of a road, it will be like electric poles, right? And here it's like this one is a little exaggerated, it's like very squeeze, but this is exactly what we see when no, we don't see kind of like electric poles, but let's say if we have like here on this picture like hills, right, overlapped, so road goes like this, so then over a hill, then go another hill and another hill, right? So we don't see this as kind of like overlapped, but road surface is like a ribbon, goes like this. And here is just, yeah, they take lamp poles, they keep it vertical, but if we have some kind of like we see in pictures with Godzilla or Kaiji, kind of the stuff, like, and where this Godzilla like pushing this freeway and it's like this, like broken freeway like this. So we will see how now like electric poles they're following this broken freeway. Let's see what's like where. Where's here? Yeah, you can find like Ryan Berry, he draws this like very cool, this like epic scenes with huge monsters destroying city, and you can see how he drawing this like bent roads. Hello, bent graphite. Так, yes. Так, so now let's see. So we have road. Так, road. Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, but kind of with a delay. Так. Um, yeah, this I think this dividers. Yeah, I never use, but yeah, I think you can use it for sure. I mean, if you see professional artists using it, then why not? Так, строится Cyberpunk. yeah, feel free. I mean, it's like you need to draw, but it's not necessary to watch every video on YouTube, right? But you must push like and share, and yeah, thank you for chat. Appreciate. Yeah, everybody who write in comments and in the chat. I very appreciate this stuff. Так. So let's see. Okay, now let's draw a car here. So some of these cars, right, like we're simplifying cars to boxes. Kind of always very convenient. And these boxes, like how they behave, so they might be attached, kind of synchronized with perspective grid, right? Or they can follow this kind of like intuitive perspective principles. So it's like if I draw, no, let's say, like I'm drawing just like drawing them in a space. So one car like this, other car like this, then third car like this. So it's kind of approach, you see, is convenient for drawing some dynamic situations. And before, I don't understand, you know, when I, like, many years ago, I don't understand, like, when artists, like, telling, like, oh, make a car like a box. I say, really? It's, like, it's so much, kind of, like, it's so different from just a box, right? Look like all these curves in a car. But again, it's like, what is about box here with the cars? It's not that is give you, like, everything you need, like all proportions and all composition and design. No, box first of all is give you like XYZ. It's like a personal XYZ for each car, right? So once you have idea like what is orientation of this car as a box, then it's easier to draw car inside because now you have XYZ for this car, right? So, and when we using this approach, we don't, it's not necessary to synchronize it with the grid. So grid can have its own XYZ and these cars have their own XYZ. It's just kind of like in a different angle. Okay, so, and this what happened also with this car on the front. So it's more like we're drawing it as a, in this intuitive perspective logic, as a box. Так. Let's see. This, and then it's like police car flying behind. how much will your motorcycle book be? Like price? How much? I forget. I was looking. It's will be kind of like a price of Scott Roberts and How to Draw. So, oh, I was just thinking it should be like a standard price for book, 250 page. Так. So when you kind of looking for a box for each car, its idea is like you just decide from which angle you're looking at this car, right? So if like you see it roof, so it means like you see this car from above. If we see like car below, so it means like it's rotated this way, right? So kind of notice this very basic moment. Так, so have this car, then this car here. Because it's very convenient. Like it's much easier to arrange it as a boxes first. Like if it's look properly, like oriented in a space as a simple form, then it will be alright when you make it with details. But if you start drawing like detailed car from beginning and you kind of make some mistake with very basic orientation, it's kind of will be very sad, you know. Так, so let's see. It's kind of this. So here I have like freeway upside down. Так. So he didn't fasten his seat belt. He's like little flying out. Whoa. And a passenger here. There's like bags with the money, right? Okay. Так. Make a road here. Here. some kind of cyberpunk car. So it's a wheel here, like this. Add some details. Так. This guy here, fine. Cool. Thank you. Some jewels. Cool. Okay, thank you, Grendel. Так. Так. Yeah, since next week I will receive printed copy of my book. No, it's like printed test copy. So it's not like 100% done. It's about like 85% done. So I just want to see how it looks on the paper, so just to make sure there is no like weird mismatch, you know. Because kind of in production is always this things is like every next step always reveals some issues. So I can already start to see what can be wrong with the printing on this stage. Anyway, and I will show you how it looks next week. It's like a very big book. Так. Oh, hello. pen. Huh, cool. Yeah, thank you for feedback, Grendel. Yeah, also if you want to have like my pure files, I have like Cyberpunk and for different like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, like animation studies, you know. So these PRFs I use in my live video. I can give links in Discord. So if you're interested, like you can ask me in Discord, I will upload it. It's just some of these PRF files, they're like super heavy. Because it's like, I don't know, as like looking right now, I have so many of these files and they're like thousands of images. I must be crazy. Yeah, I should do like more Scott Robertson video. Yeah, should prepare my okay. Because kind of like a motorcycle book eating all my brain resources concurrently. So I don't have like time to prepare for live streams. But when I will have this time, I will prepare Scott Robertson. Because, you know, it's sometimes it's requires some rehearsal. Because you don't want to be sloppy in explaining, so it should be some rehearsal. Like I draw like a couple dozen drawings before live, just to see if there's some possible mistakes I might do, or like some kind of uncertain moments which I need to make clear before I start video. Так. Because most of my tutorials, they had a lot of preparations. And best one, you know, they always look like fluent and easy. Like if I just like you meet me in the street and I give you like super tutorial just in the form of conversation, but in reality it's been prepared, right? Because it's even harder than make like pre-recorded video, because when you record a tutorial you can make cuts, you have like yeah, you can make mistakes and then start over, but in a live tutorial I need to get like everything in one go. And still I prefer live tutorials because I don't spend time for editing. I hate to edit videos. It's kind of a waste of time. Because if you make like somehow like decent editing, it's minimum 1 day. So minimum 1 day you spend sitting with the mouse in front of computer. It's like, oh my god. So best start tutorials in the universe. Thank you. You said this. I hear it, people saying this. Oof. So this markers I just buy in the Muji, some Japanese store. So it's very interesting. but I think it's not waterproof. Так, see here. So, like bullet holes. Так, так. Oh no, Lucia flying away. Game over. Так, Cyberpunk, so must have like VR goggles. Yeah, I will keep it later. No, I will keep recording. Yeah, I'll keep for later. Так. But after some time, like I'm not guarantee if like after 1 month I will put it for members. So at least first week it will be open. Так. Yeah, nice. Values in perspective. It's good. Yeah, no, it's like with education is this kind of thing which I wish I learned earlier. Is like as soon as possible it should be anchored in kind of like in a profession. So it should be anchored in a form, kind of like final works which you can monetize. So it's maybe like some kind of like production work, like for computer game design, or maybe you, even if it's like collections for personal exhibitions, whatever, but it should be like this products you can sell or somebody will pay you for. And on the early stages they might be like substandard, right? But you're still kind of trying and you improving, making the real thing. This kind of like very, very cool, important nuance. And somehow it's weird, but like in the academia system where I was studying, like we have this art universities and different departments, or like oil painting, sculpture, and architecture, for example, right? So it's like architect department. So best, like smartest of all, and like most making sense, it was architecture department, because teachers in this architecture department, they was not just teaching some important theory and like make students to develop certain skills like in some kind of vacuum, right? No, they actually was preparing them to do real job. And I see how the students in the architecture department, before they even like finish their education, like about like in the middle of their education, they start to work on the real projects. So like their teachers are kind of like delegate some parts of his real projects on the students, and he see like, okay, these students, they can do it right, so he gives them more and more work, and in the end of education he was already paying them for making real job. And when they graduate, he connect his student with his clients. I say like, okay, this how education should be, so it's connected to real world. So when you learn it, it's already became like part of your life, and you can live based on it. While like art, like oil painting, this kind of like education we have, everybody who finish oil painting department, only what they can do is like it's very hard to make career as artist, just like free artist. You need to have this kind of like businessman marketing and charisma mindset. You know, you need to be like very, very rare character. And most of people, like 99.9%, they just go work teachers. You know, so they like some come back to same art college, art university to teach, some open their own studio, whatever, but you know, they just like keep drawing, like selling from time to time, participate in certain exhibitions, but their main work is art teacher. So imagine it's like they teaching you be artist, but actually they teaching you to be art teacher, practically, you know. So we need kind of like make sure that what you study, it's this kind of like marketable skills. It's like you kind of practice to make actual job. Because like even like in the history, you know, all this like classic art and stuff, it's kind of also very commercial. It wasn't like that just some like ingenious artist sit in a cave and paint his like visionary art. No, they have like let's say some kind of patrons, right? Like rich sponsors, some royal people, or whatever, like traders. And the majority of artists, they was just like a fever today, right? They just like sit and draw commission art. Even these guys like who was like doing a revolution in art and stuff, yeah, they was just like very clever businessmen, right? They kind of like a Van Gogh, Monet and stuff, and then all these guys. So eventually, you know, with all this like observing all this discourse, I find that like real art for me, like for me at least, right? In my perspective, real art is always commercial, and that's it. So whatever else you call it, like experimental art or some whatever it is, it's always like on a less level than commercial art. Commercial art is like peak. Because like you try just imagine like Miyazaki, if he didn't draw for entertainment industry, right? He have some animation. He did this like some very weird cartoon. I forget name, like a tree something. And it's like, okay, it's look like some art house. You're not really sure what happened, and it's not. It's kind of like, okay, like maybe it's cool for like other artists, you know, we can watch for some skills, we can watch for some kind of like quality of performance, but it's too abstract. I don't see what point it is in it. When real art, like we look all this kind of like pop culture stuff, if it's smart, it's fantastic. It's always fantastic, you know, when it's smart. And it's don't need to be pretending like it's don't need to try to look smart. No, it's my look very simple, but actually have you know, this smart context. Because if when creators smart, they making smart work. It's like kind of in a way like less is more, right? So people might look this it's kind of so simple, where is like fluff and stuff. So I find this like entertainment art is far more intellectual than this like art house and art like not for everyone, this kind of stuff. They're always opposite kind of. They're actually they kind of just trying to sell their low quality. Oh, again, like Van Gogh, you know, just he in his diaries, right, in his mails, he was writing that he want to be like really like a realist painter, you know, like a classic style painter, but he can't. As like every art student understand exactly what he mean. You can't just be a great painter, you know, it's not how it works. Like sometimes like you need to born with certain talent, right? But no, and also every time it's like it's insane amount of work, and you need to be very smart. It's a lot of parameters need to be matched. It's like also certain luck, can say, right? So like you need to born smart, you need to born in certain life conditions, so you can become this great painter. And you might need do like inhuman amount of work, just like be super laborious and discipline. But so Van Gogh, he just choose kind of this direction. He can sell this kind of like abstraction, you know. It's also a book, Rudolf Arnhem. I still kind of should finish this book, where he talking about this, about like how complex realist art is. Because being like, I don't know, right now I kind of little out of this discussions, kind of, right? But when I was studying art college, it's like these contemporary abstract artists, they kind of perceived as more intellectual than realist artists, because they have all this like complex, sophisticated ideas, they deliver some messages, while realist painters, realist artists, they just draw what they see. They kind of being just a camera, like human camera, right? And Arnhem, he say, it's like it's stupidest thing you might think. Because to be able to make realistic work, you should be like smartest person on the planet, It's like super sophisticated and hard intellectual work. Так. I also like this meme with Daka Daka. It's like, I think this is how I sound with my English. So funny. Так. This building. Big lights. Yeah, same like a right story with like archiplot, where is have this kind of all standard beginning, middle, end, character arcs. When there is plot twist in a story and all the stuff. This is real art. Manage to do all the stuff. Some kind of like Home Alone movie, for example. Yeah, this real art. Well, even Lady Gaga, no, it's absolutely like peak kind of art. Even like I don't find it's good art, but is super high level, like peak level production. No, I mean, like, I don't like her message, kind of, right? It's like it's too liberal. But as creator, she's is like super conservative, kind of traditional type of creator, you know. So it's a kind of paradox. Так. Should just add this kind of new age flavor to it. Так, some crazy stuff here. And because you know, art by kind of originally, like, so if we say like conservative or all the stuff, art originally is kind of esoterical in itself. So it's actual tradition of it. Так. So let's see. So good. Так. Так. Let's make explosion here. I mean, esoterical in a kind of, with this term, like kind of like a hidden message, right? Or second message, let's say. It's kind of theater, right? So it's crazy. Like when I was first time in theater, like Romeo and Juliet ballet, I was just like, it's like it's connect so many dots for me, because suddenly I understand that like how much theater is fundamental for all art. You know, all this like music, video, movies, paintings, sculptures, everything is like in our world, in our like current Western civilization, right? Like I don't say like exactly original, because I'm not sure is this possible to check to know exactly like origin of every form of art, right? But like right now, it's definitely like all these art forms originate from theater, because like theater just have it all. It's like have everything, all this like plastic, like plastic of a sculpture, all like costumes. So you have this, you know, like a fashion shows, like clothing, everything in the theater. You have scene like in the oil paintings, like in the classic oil paintings, this look like a theater scene, you know, all there like poses, everything. You have storytelling, you have movie, you have music, video, comic book, whatever, everything in the theater. I was just like, because I was watching this Romeo and Juliet, and it was like, I forgot how long, say like 2 or 3 hours. And for me, it was like, it was so powerful breakthrough. So I was watching, like if I am watching like endless sequence of like incredibly sophisticated paintings. So I see this like storyboard, like one painting follow after another, and just like they move, they're jumping, and they're like folds moving, light on their faces and the clothes and everything, like look like best painting you may ever see, you know, like, and it's like every moment one after another, it's look like great painting. It's like it's insane. It's just like so concentrated, so rich with material, you know. It's just like visual explosion, kind of like, what is that? So I really recommend to go like find some like a really high level theater to watch, you know, this kind of stunning work. It was mind-blowing. And then after this ballet, after a couple months later, I was in like a goddess or some kind of contemporary dance. It's like, oh my god, this look so far lower levels than ballet, you know. Just I'm not talking, it's not about some kind of style or something. It's just about of you can see how like amount of work, kind of amount of precision, you know. Is like some kung fu guy who is just like punching air and it's like yeah, and then it's like MMA fighter something, you know. So this kind of like difference. These guys are just like, oh, I'm a dancer. Oh, look, it's so kind of special moves. And then ballet guys, they're like doing some on the edge of human abilities. You know, they have this kind of things in the ballet when they're like create an illusion of zero weight. So like when like ballet, this woman jumping, right, like she landing, like if she don't have mass, zero mass kind of effects. And yeah, there's a lot of this kind of like very nuanced things which you realize to perform this thing you should like work whole your life, you know. It's kind of yeah, this fineness, kind of refine yourself to this level. And all this kind of like choreography is definitely more primitive. It's like also like this Australian woman breakdancer, you know. So there's like breakdancers who's doing crazy acrobatics, and there's this like woman, she was like so, maybe I should try myself, go to Olympics, you know. Can. Is there like a stripper dance for Olympics? I can apply. Where is my music for this? Yeah. Yeah, no, when I was in art college, I also have this like part-time job. I was a model, which like absolutely surreal, like, you know, like hard to imagine, like even for myself. I was a model, like walking on this thing, like walk, which is kind of showing clothes. And then I was working in theater, kind of forget how it's called. No, it's just like managing events. And this was just like funny how guys like from my art college, girls mostly, of course, so they was like looking me with all this like fashion show and it's like, oh my god, he's so arrogant. And for me it was like, what the hell, it's so funny, it's so surreal because it's I mean, it's like, what am I doing here? But I met like real, like super beautiful Russian models, which helped me to have some models for drawing. I was just inviting real fashion models to my house to draw them, So it was crazy. It's kind of this case of don't afraid to do something which is not in your character. So like it was absolutely out of my character. I go to work with models, I was like kind of, really? You think I look like a model? So funny. Так. So, and I was just like, I mean, imagine like how amazing it was for me as like student. So I was inviting models to draw, and then I was just like call everyone, and it's like, oh, okay, now maybe I can call this director of model agency. It's like also like very stunning, like this kind of type of Russian girls you imagine when you think about beautiful Russian girls, right? And she arrived to my house, so more than that, like when she entered my, no, it was like rent room. I was rent roomed. We was like two my friends, architect students, and me, we rent apartment, and I have like room where I draw and sleep kind of. So when she arrived my room, it's like, poof, I don't know, I see is like she, I don't know, it's like guard off completely. I even like feel like she's fallen in love, It's like, what the hell, really? Because I don't know, it was some atmosphere probably. Like maybe she never been in a house of real artists. I mean, I was like real artist, like maybe beginner, like kind of honestly, I was like amateur, but real artist in a way that I was just living by drawing every day. And in my room already was like hundreds of people. I was drawing like so many people, like models. I had like Russia mafia was in my room. I was just like, I call like my friend from Africa, football player. So like, hey, I have some free time, like in my schedule. Can you come like for portraits? Like I never draw like black people kind of, And say, yeah. And after he called me like, can I bring my friends? I said, okay. So he arrived with, Dagestan mafia kind of this guys. Like one guy, he was like world champion of, this time it was like, I think it was Pride or kind of different. Like right now I have um, UFC, before was Pride, or like just mixed fight, they call it. We watch video, he fighting with, no, on this like world level championships. Crazy. And then I was draw like police, like army. Crazy. It was like real bohemia kind of atmosphere, you know. Yeah, so same like for me was like, you know, when you watch movie, you see this like Hollywood like super beautiful actress. I have them as a models in my house. You know, it's like most beautiful woman you can ever imagine. So this for me was just kind of click. um I don't know what's since then I was don't worry anymore about like how women look like, you know, she might be like super beautiful. I can communicate very easy with her, kind of. So what? Yeah. So when I was before that, before I was focused on drawing, you know, I was like this like typical teenager kind of like who's a hunting woman, you know. So it's like, oh, I need to find some girl, I need to find some girl. But then I said like, okay, like uh let's draw first, and then we'll see like if she interested in me or not. But I will not like force it. I will not like try to um you know, because they can feel it. You know, it's like you go, your friend call you, you think like, oh, nice, I will sit, talk with my friend, have good time. But you arrive and he start to sell you something. And it's like, my God, man, like, can we just have some human communication, right? So, and these like beautiful girls, they have this constant um, pressure, you know, everybody like trying to capture them, catch kind of, you know. And then if you're more relaxed, you just respect them as a human beings, you know, just kind of being like a friend. They, yeah, of course they trust you, no, and you really respect them. You really uh like just be um oh yeah, you really just enjoy their uh how's this word in English, enjoy their presence just like a friend. That's it. So when I learned this, yeah, I don't have problems anymore with that. Just don't be like crazy kind of like, oh, так, let's check, can I put ink? Yeah, and also what important lesson was is like, you really should to choose like who you are. Like if you're artists, then do your freaking art. Okay, this should be like important first for you. Так, let's some shading. And also what I learned, you know, I mean now it's kind of, yeah, of course, kind of obvious. But when I was like a student, when I was teenager, I have no idea. Um, it's kind of interesting paradox with a beautiful woman, kind of, and girl. Uh, in one kind of, in one hand, they they know they're attractive because they constantly being approached, right? Constantly they have this attention, constantly all this like men like around. But in same time, they, no matter how beautiful they are, they not confident about themselves. Like somehow, even little bit, they have this kind of I don't know, it's some kind of woman thing. Worry about is there good enough, like is there looking good enough or something like this. Maybe they like, you know, like we are artists, right? You might draw uh like you can draw a lot of stuff, but still you see all your mistakes, you know, all your weaknesses. And for somebody from outside who look your work, he think is like, oh, you, it's a perfect, you draw like perfectly, everything is great, you're just fantastic, you know. So, and when I was drawing them, it was like a validation of their this kind of like beauty, you know, inherent beauty. So they look, say like, oh, it's really me, you know. And me, I was just like, no way. I was like on the edge. I try my best, and still I can't capture like how much beauty they have, you know. So, and still for them, they say like, wow, looks so cool. Like it's like when artists draw them, it's like a very valuable valuation somehow for themselves. This, I don't know. Maybe if there's some art students, you should know of this, you know. It's a valuable thing. Так, okay, so this marker absolutely water soluble. Whoa. So funny, like to hear, like again, I don't know. At least in Russia, it was like this, like when like 18-year-old girl kind of worry about her age. She's already like afraid to be old and losing her beauty in this age. That's crazy. Yeah, and just like imagine, right? It's like for us, we think is like artists everywhere. You know, at least for me, it feels like uh, it's like all world is artists, you know. But in reality, it's very rare. So in reality, most of people never have portraits of themselves. So, and if you can draw portrait for them, it will be like extremely special kind of. And also it's like you make them also imagine like act itself of being painted by artists. It's like yeah, some of them really was thinking, telling me like they became like now they're like captured and will maybe like after like 100 years this painting will be in a museum, you know. So this is how they feel it. So people who been like painted or drawn, just by act of it, it's like you connect them to whole history of art, you know, to all this, like you make them like belong, attached to this rich culture. It's like it's interesting. Uh, Maybe they even never think about it this way, but in the process they find it. They realize this what happened. This how they feel eventually. So this also interesting. Think about mm, like AI and stuff, right? Because being like drawn and painted by real artists, everybody will forever feel it this way. Like it's some kind of act, it's some kind of like event on a it's a historical event for them, you know, for people. They became like art artifact, culture artifact. So yeah, so maybe it's some kind of like in Egypt, you know. Yeah, interesting. It's kind of you making people immortal in certain sense. And photograph or some AI drawing doesn't have this effect in the people mind, at least. So, it's funny drawing. Так. And it's so funny. And we're like, imagine like we're students, like sit in our house, and there's like this mafia guys who go inside, look like really like soprano kind of family, you know, and they just like, hey bro, how are you? Like, you know, they just having, they just chilling kind of. And then is a phone call where this guy like taking phone is like, what happened? It's like, oh come on, like can you do yourself? Blah blah blah. Say, it's my friend, like his friend, like police stop his car. Then again, like call. It's like, okay, I go. So say like, okay, sorry, I need to go to kind of um, solve this problem with police to take his friend out. Like say, I will come back like after 1 hour. So then 3 minutes after, like call in the door, and I open door. It's this guy like standing. It's like, okay, I come back earlier. I was like, what happened? I say like when police understand it's me, they just let my friend go away. Yeah, and And then I have like I tell this story before, I think. Like I had like one, I think it was my first exhibition kind of in it was in my hometown cafe kind of restaurant. So I had my drawings there for 1 month. So and then when I came after 1 month to take back my works, like one work somebody stole, nobody know who because there's no camera. And then I find like one of my drawing was on the other place. So it was in a different wall, but they put it on this wall. I take it out, and there's like big hole in the wall. It's like, what the heck? Why is this hole? I say like a restaurant owner. No, and I know this guy. It's a funny guy. The restaurant owner was drunk, and he's like punch a wall, makes this hole in the wall, and everybody's like, oh my god, it's just like entrance to the restaurant, like a lobby, everybody goes there and they see this hole, what to do? And my friends say like, great, so we are so lucky we have a gin exhibition, so we take your picture and cover this hole. They're like, I mean, they're really like in this soprano kind of type of people. Always, they like always have stories like their everyday is adventure. Something happened with them. It's crazy. I need to draw back perspective grid. Whoa, whoa. Так. Везде. Do I know any other resources? Yeah, there is a book I did post in YouTube about this. There is a book of some Italian professor. He explains this type of perspective. It's like it's just a lot of drawings of like projections and fisheye type of perspective, like 6-point perspective there. Yeah, there is also some information on websites, like academical websites, like ResearchGate. So you see, it's I find it's interesting. Also, like correlation. It's can say is like if you can't find certain information, it's actually because you're not ready to read this information. So it's like, yeah, you can find a lot of materials actually explaining fisheye, but not in the form of some funny YouTube video, you know. It looks like really hard to read. Yeah. No, and just like if you're really interested, you spend some time, and eventually you will find everything you want. It's just not easy to find, and then it's not easy to read. That's kind of how it works. But yeah, now I'm working on a book. So after motorcycle book, it will be also 2 my books about dynamic perspective and how to urban sketch. For me, it will be much easier to do than motorcycle book because all I need is just put my knowledge there instead of researching motorcycle constructions. Так. Also, let me see. I just received book from Marcus Matteo. So this author of Framed Ink and Framed Perspective. Oh, it's kind of like, I think is definitely one of those books you must have. And as its name is like environment design, so it's not exactly like about perspective. He already have like 2 books on framed perspective, right? Like probably have here. Yeah, so it's like framed ink and framed perspective. They're very cool. And this here, he talk a lot about, like principles of environment design. Really interesting. And still have some composition stuff or some perspective too. So let's say, yeah, so he take like this scene, for example, and he explain how he was developing this scene, all this like reference materials, perspective behind the scene. And then you see like this house here. Then he have this kind of construction, so he able to draw this house from different angle, from like projection, like top, front, side. So he even like designed, so if it's some like for a game or whatever, so he have this like inner structure, like stairs, rooms. Yeah, very cool book. Yeah, so it's inside house. So look, kind of like imagine, right? Like you're making comic book and this like your main character house, right? So and you have all design. You make like how it look from street, what surrounds this area, and then how it looks inside. So have this character in the house. So he talking about this like different environments. Yeah, he here also talking about this like architecture styles. Yeah, yeah, like this. So it's like southern Spain, European Gothic, and Japanese. So, anyway, so kind of like it's more about environment design, and I think it's really like absolutely essential book, like for comic book artists, illustrators, have on your bookshelf. Definitely great book. Так. Okay, so if no questions or funny jokes, maybe you want to tell some funny joke in the chat. Yeah, and go to my Discord. Так, Discord. I will give you link. So in Discord, you can show your pictures, you can ask feedback, ask any questions. Right now, it's not many people there, so you can, use this opportunity. Like, I did this in my life with the models, right? I was very shy. I was super shy, and I have no idea like how to communicate with a woman. And then I was like right in the Russian model industry, So same here. Like if you're really interested in perspective, just go to my Discord. Now it's not much people, and I answer almost every question there, every message. So also share this video, share kind of, and like. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you everybody for support. See you later. Так, almost forget. I need this.
Bak, Dirk Allah. Dirka, Muhammad Jihad. Haka Sherpa, Abakala. Oh, Dirka. Jihad, Mala Dirka. I know. It's terrible, terrible.
We are Bashir rebels from the country of Somalia. Who are you?
My name is Bond. Jim Bond.